It was the 28th of April 1962, an Andy Penman double, an Andy Penman goal and an Al Ghazine double. How can anyone forget that? That gave Dundee victory in the league down in Perth on the 25th of April 2009. Well, there'll be heroes out there for St Johnstone today. Well, if St Johnstone are going to claim the victory at Dens Park, the victory that will clinch the league title for them, they're also going to have to hope that Livingston do them a favour and beat Partick Thistle today as well. Anything other than a St Johnstone win will not be good enough for them to win the league. So half an eye will also be down at Livingston, Partick Thistle as well. The team that St Johnstone have set out to try and claim the league victory has included Stuart McCaffrey. He's recovered from a knock. He's back in the team. Jody Morris, FA Cup winning player. He's only fit enough for the bench. Dundee have made one change from the team that beat Livingston last weekend. Jojo Ephraim is back into the team. Darren Williams drops down to the bench. That means Darren Young scoring on his first start last week against Livingston. He's continuing in the team. And Chris Poznak, he makes 2 consecutive starts for Dundee since the beginning of January. St Johnstone include one former D in their team lineup today. Stephen Milne starting for St Johnstone today. 2 goals against Dundee already this season. And he'll be looking to add to that tally. On the other hand, Dundee only scored 1 goal against St Johnstone all season. They'll be looking to buck that trend today. Courier charging right down into the corner, and a bright start from Dundee immediately on the attack, and they've got their corner kick straight away. Antoine Courier, scorer of that only goal for Dundee against St Johnstone this season, coming at Dens in a 1-1 draw back in November. Scorer for St Johnstone that day, Stephen Milne. And almost Benedictus getting the end of the corner. Loughlin falling to ground, but never a penalty kick. And then the end is punted away, and St Johnstone clear their lines. Certainly a small Dundee support in comparison to St Johnstone today. St Johnstone packing out that Bob Shankly stand behind the goals to the right. 4,500 tickets allocated to St Johnstone today, and there won't be far short of it, probably around the 4,000 mark. Would have been more, except they lost to that last gap Stuart Keane goal last weekend. Benedictus gets that one away to stop Samuel running in behind. Colin Samuel, a former United man, blisteringly quick pace. And the Dundee defence will have to be watching them today. And Martin Hardy almost getting on the end of it, and then Robert Douglas claiming above Colin Samuel. And a quick throw out might find Giorgio Ephraim getting his first touch back in the team today. He's missed the last 5 games and maybe just not quite up to full speed yet. Forced to cut back behind Miller. But a good ball over the top, and here's Antoine Courier. Tries to chip it over Alan Main. But not quite getting the angles right. And Alan Main, former Dundee United keeper, and doesn't he know it, the boos ringing out around the ground for him. He'll get it away for St Johnstone. Samuel gets the nod on to Mill, holding the ball up, getting out to Miller. Good movement by Colin Samuel, turning up on the other side of the penalty area. Then Miller again. It's the ball inside, a little touch off to Gary Evans, squares it, and it's into the back of the net. It's an early goal for St Johnstone. And it's that man again, Stephen Milne. It's his 3rd goal against Dundee this season, and St Johnstone, their title chances have been dealt, and immediately good boost from the start. But they know they have to keep half an eye on that game involving Partick Thistle. They're going to have to hope Livingston score. If not, no matter how many goals they score at Dens Park today, the league will not be decided. What a start though for St Johnstone. Stephen Milne, great work by Gary Irvin, getting the ball across, storming into the box. Malone A high ball in, and Courier trying to get underneath the challenge, Alan Main. But you can't do that in the goalkeeper. Even if he had done enough to win the ball, it wouldn't have been good enough. Would have been a foul. And Alan Main as well has kicked the ball out to play. He's not happy about it. He's got a knock on his knee. Just having a word, the physio now coming on to the pitch. Just maybe that challenge by Antoine Courier, maybe a bit physical. Just catching his knee. And this must be a concern for Derek McInnes. Ewan McLean's getting stripped down on the bench just in case he's required. And Kevin Rutkovich as well, just having a look over to see if Alan Main's okay. And Ewan McLean, who's stripped and he's got the jersey on, ready to come on if needed. Alan Main might just see if he can run it off. And indeed, Ewan McLean's sitting back down again on the St Johnstone bench. He's maybe breathing a bit easier. Getting thrown into the Tayside derby this early can't be a welcoming experience. Courier holding the ball up, trying to find Chris Poznak, but the ball's come all the way out to Payton. Having a run at Paul Sheeran, getting the ball across. FM at the back post, gets it back into the area, and really a last-ditch dive at the ball there by Giorgio FM, trying to get the ball back across for Antoine Courier. Just a bit too much of a reach for the big Cypriot. Samuel gets the ball down, but Malone sticks his boot through it and gets it away. Now Payton. Aimed at Colin McMenamin, but Kevin Rutkovich gets it away easy. Now Shinnie, Scotland under-21 player. And it's a poor cross this time, and Alan Main just dives gratefully on the ball. And it's also worth noting as well, with Alan Main with the ball in his hand, Ewan McLean is continuing his warm-up in front of the St Johnstone fans on the right-hand side behind the goal. And maybe just a bit of a question mark remaining over Alan Main. And again, Alan Main just feeling that left leg where he took the knock off Courier, just a bit of a grimace. And Ewan McLean continuing the warm-up. Milne, the goal scorer. Samuel. Now Hardy will sweep it all the way out to Paul Sheeran. And he's got a runner, Craig, outside him. Going to the box of Stephen Milne. But good coming back there by Eric Payton. But doesn't cover himself in glory with the clearance. Slicing out to play for the corner kick. And Gary Irvin is going across to take it. The man who sets up that goal for Stephen Milne. Great running by the St Johnstone wing back. And he'll be looking to deliver another ball. This time onto the head of Stephen Milne. From this corner kick. Swings it across, aimed at Martin Hardy at the far post. But Rab Douglas claims it comfortably. Now Ephraim is having to put up with Kevin Moon on his back. And Ephraim not happy, and throw giving against him. Irvin thrown forward, and Ephraim gets it away. Now Millen, and Martin Hardy picks the ball up, and he's taken down by Andrew Shinnie. A straightforward foul. It's clumsy more than anything else by Andrew Shinnie. I think he was trying to get out of the tackle as he went in for it. And in the end, he couldn't really get out the way of Martin Hardy as he marauded towards goal. So it's going to be a free kick to St Johnstone. Liam Craig and Martin Hardy standing over this one. Probably favours the left-footed Liam Craig. 6 goals already this season for Liam Craig. And it is going to be Liam Craig. Curls it round. Great diving stop to the right by Rab Douglas. And he keeps St Johnstone at bay. Courier just loses the ball as a ricochet off the back of his head. Craig punts the ball away. Loughlin steps forward and fires that back up towards goal. And Courier has the ball at his feet, getting ahead of McCaffrey, and McMenamin almost sliding in onto the ball there behind Alan Main. But Alan Main, vastly experienced goalkeeper. That's bread and butter for him. Ewan McLean is back up on the St Johnstone bench now, and Derek McKinnis making another check with Alan Main, making sure he's okay. McCaffrey and Malone will step forward and clear that one away. Hardy with a chip ball forward, but that'll harmlessly roll out behind the goal to the right. Well, the goalkeeping saga continues. Ewan McLean, he's back warming up again, and Alan Main, maybe he is struggling with this knock he took off Antoine Courier. Courier heads it on, but Craig will just pick that one up quite easily. Samuel. Now Hardy with a great ball, sliced out towards Chris Miller. Beautifully weighted. And that one not quite so well weighted. Gary Irvin has to just bundle Ephraim over on the byline, and there's just 2 firmly hits. And the ball just rolls out, and there's been a spotted balloons coming from the fans from Perth behind the goal to the right, really packing out that Bob Shankly stand today. They almost filled it last time they were at Dens in November. It's sold out today, and they've got fans up in the main stand. Not quite selling out their allocation, but certainly biggest travelling support seen at Dens for a while. Ephraim cuts inside. Now Young getting a foot in the ball, and the ball forward by Poznak ricochets off Martin Hardy, I think it was, and then cleared away, and Eddie Malone took down Chris Miller late there. Irvin. The ball forward, and Loughlin couldn't get in the end of it, and Milne fires it, but right at Rab Douglas. Had a very tight angle there, Stephen Milne. And St Johnstone's top scorer for the season just couldn't force it past the Scotland international keeper. Rab Douglas been called into action twice in the opening spells here at Dens Park, and he won't be too happy about that. He wanting his defence in front of him to do their job, keeps St Johnstone at bay. And when you've got a league title to play for, so I wonder what that'll do for your stamina and commitment. It's the ball knocked forward by Mill. Samuel running into the corner, but can't keep it in play. Poznak just slices that one up into the sky. Payton will try and keep it in, but is already out of play before Payton booted it back towards goal. Now Milne. Darren Young trying to win it off the former Dundee man, but no such joy, and Benedictus can just fire it high and away. Payton nods it down, and Chris Poznak space to run into here, but he'll find Giorgio Ephraim, and now the Cypriot international will try and open some spaces. Now Malone. Ball forward and Courier. Drops deep. just holding on to the ball and back over the halfway line to Jim Laughlin, and he'll try and find space down the other side with Andrew Shinney. Liam Craig forces the ball out into touch though. Payton trying to find an option from the throw-in, but no one offering themselves up in the end. Andrew Shinney. Payton tries to get across, but deflected behind, and Dundee get their second corner of the game. And the big men will head forward. Jim Laughlin and Kyle Benedictus trooping into the St Johnstone area. Neither of them have a goal this season though. Payton tries to get it across. Down Younger was with a corner kick. Headed away. And fired high into the sky. Poznak coming back, trying to keep the ball off Kevin Moon, and Eddie Malone will just fire it back away and not giving St Johnstone any time to start a counter-attack. Miller. Now to Milne. Miller continues the run outside Stephen Milne. He comes forward, taken down by Kyle Benedictus, but away with a hand from referee Mike McCurry tells Stephen Milne to get back up on his feet. Now Ephraim. It comes off Paul Sheeran then. Giorgio Ephraim almost had to pull Paul Sheeran out of the way. He's fired up for this one, Giorgio Ephraim. Samuel, good touch, just guiding the ball down off his shin. Wins a throw in for St Johnstone. Irvin to the feet of Miller, coming inside. Now Milne the goal scorer, and Irvin will try a swerving shot at goal, but swerves right in the arms of Robert Douglas. And big grab. Keeps that shot out. Payton. Now Young. Courier, now Shinney. Now McMenamin tries to play the little through ball to Courier, but he still got it. Colin McMenamin sliding in there, Kevin Rutkiewicz. And he's conceded a corner kick. And again, Dundee will push forward, trying to get back on the score sheet. And it's been incredibly open. First 15 minutes here with Dens Park, the two best defences in the first division. One of them's been penetrated already. Stephen Milne, the goal scorer. Incredibly open. Young forces the ball across, it's too high for Benedictus, couldn't get anything on it. Now Hardy. And that ball's even sliced right into the stands down below us. Malone. And Irvin nods it away. Poznak tries to head it back towards the middle of the park, but there's nobody there. And the loose ball picked up by St Johnstone and hammered away. Malone hammers it right back again. And Rutkiewicz, the bearded Kevin Rutkiewicz, sporting a rather unusual beard, pitch black. The facial hair in the St Johnstone defender, despite his blonde locks. Certainly giving the St Johnstone defender a look beyond his 29 years. Yeah, looks like certainly late 30s. Pushing Alan Main for spot as the oldest player in the park, but Young nods it away, and Ewan McLean's now moved over behind Alan Main. I don't know if he's just checking up to see if the St Johnstone keeper's all right. And indeed, Ewan McLean comes on the park briefly and moves off it. And Alan Main's receiving some makeshift treatment from Ewan McLean down at the Provy Road end of the ground. Now Milne and Samuel will cut back the penalty spot, almost breaks loose to Milne, but Eric Payton fires it away. Now Hardy. Twisting and turning, trying to get away from Chris Poznak. Diving down, and he's conceded a throw in. Martin Hardy still battling though with the Canadian international, but not battling hard enough. He's conceded the possession of the ball. And Ewan McLean is completed his treatment on Alan Main. Makes makeshift physio, and he's back round at the St Johnstone dugout. Poznak fires it over, and Derek McInnes will sprint across and show off his silky footwork. Now Poznak. Now Andrew Shinney, Ephraim making the run down the near side, and a great spot there by Chris Miller. Brilliant interception by the St Johnstone midfielder. Jojo Ephraim had space to run into behind him, but now Chris Miller down the other opposite end. Plenty of space to run into for him. Immediately sets up the St Johnstone attack. Samuel getting the ball across. Stephen Miller, poor first touch. It's forced away from goal, slipping on the Dundee surface, and Benedict will let that one run out of play. Poor first touch there by Stephen Mill. Good first touch in there if he managed to hold it in tight. Maybe twisting and turning and getting a shot on goal by Ralph Douglas. But the first touch taking him away from goal. And Benedictus could just watch it out of play. Miller, not up into the sky. Lachlan gets it away. Now Moon. Out to Paul Sheeran, who's been very quiet, not usually this quiet, usually pulling the strings in the St Johnstone midfield. Not today. This is the man. Martin Hardy, heavily involved in the play in the first 20 minutes. Irvin sets up that goal for Stephen Milne. Forced backwards this time, and Rudkovic can fire it forward, but Stephen Milne runs away, and Rab Douglas can just claim the ball unchallenged. Courier tries to nod it on, but ball blocked there by Kevin Rudkovic. Now Benedict can just wash that back to Rab Douglas. Signed on for the next 2 years, Rab Douglas. Colin McMenamin also signing a new contract yesterday. Another 2 years at Dens for him, despite his injury problems early on in the season, picking up a serious knock at McDermott Park. Ephraim taken down there by Gary Irvin, and Mike McCurry blows the whistle. It's going to be a free kick to Dundee. Down below us here on the near side, Ephraim wanting the ball at his feet. Just Shinny, McMenamin and Courier to aim at in the area. And Ephraim goes to the near side with Andrew Shinny. Now Main punted forward. Lachlan heads it back up into the sky. And Hardy's cross deflected off Young on the way through. And just broken down into a few scrappy spells now. Incredibly open. 15 minutes of the game. Chances at both ends. Rab Douglas pulling off 2 great saves and conceding the goal as well. Dundee testing St Johnstone with a couple of corners. Alan Main yet to be tested though, despite his early knock. But despite that very open 15 minutes, the last 5 minutes, pretty scrappy. And Gary Irvin will try and work something from the throw in here. No opportunities presenting them straight away. And Poznak can just fire it high and away. Kevin Rudkovic, great defending, very strong, the big defender. The beard maybe giving him godlike powers in the mould of other great Scottish defenders, but yet to be penetrated so far. Poznak heads it forward, and now McCaffrey back in the St Johnstone lineup today. Can make sure McMenamin doesn't get in the end of it. Now Sheeran. Yeah, Andrew Shinney tries to turn away from Martin Hardy, but Martin Hardy, experienced midfielder, just takes him down as he tries to get turned there. Rutkiewicz fired forward again and looking for the speed of Colin Samuel in behind the Dundee defence. Doesn't have to this time though. Poor touch from Eddie Malone. And just rolls over the touchline for a throw in. Now Irvin. Hardy with the ball down into the corner, and Eddie Malone has to come across and nod the ball out of play for another throw into St Johnstone, edging ever closer to that Dundee goal. Irvin gets it back from Milne, tries to get the ball across, but Poznak sliding in, blocks the cross, and now Sheeran might fancy a striker goal here, Paul Sheeran. Oh no, swerving shot, rising all the way from Paul Sheeran. Got a brilliant swerving goal at McDermott Park earlier on in the season against Dundee. Not this time though. That Douglas can watch it sailing over the bar. Now McMenamin. And St Johnstone can just rob the ball off McMenamin. Just a bit of a loose touch from the man who signed the new contract. Samuel nods the ball over Kyle Benedictus. Now Milne, and it fires it straight at Rab Douglas. But whistle already gone. Samuel bundling over Kyle Benedictus before the ball came to Stephen Milne. And that touch by Colin Samuel, reminiscent of touch by Paul Gascoigne against Scotland at Wembley, nodding the ball over the defender's head, and Dundee have some assistance here from the St Johnstone physio, as Kyle Benedictus being seen by Dundee's own physio, Eric Payton, also down in front of the St Johnstone dugout, being tended to by the Dundee doctor, and the St Johnstone physio as well, lending some assistance. And Eric Payton back up on his feet, just walking away, and Kyle Benedictus took that hefty knock off Colin Samuel. Was off the park, and just he's running again. It looks fine. Looks like he'll shake this one off. Young defender, been vastly improved on his early performances. Such a cool head at the back. Certainly one that is much beyond his young years. Ephraim. Nimble footwork by Jojo Ephraim, and unfortunately the pass forward not quite matching his quick feet. And Eric Payton continues to receive some treatments on the far side. The free kick thrown forward. Courier almost getting his head in it. Poznak nods it back forward, and Ephraim will try and twist away here from Chris Miller. Chip ball into the box, almost getting the ball ahead of Stuart McCaffrey. Antoine Courier lurking in behind the St Johnstone defender for any mistakes. Craig gets the ball forward to Colin Samuel, just slips, and now picked up, still going forward, and great tackle by Eddie Malone. McMenamin drops deep, and Young can fire it forward, and Antoine Courier gets a chance to stretch his legs for the first time in the match. McCaffrey came across to close in the angle. Irvin there as well. Ball crossed by Ephraim, and Shinney can't get the end of it. Cleared away by Liam Craig, and Kevin Moon can work it back out to Liam Craig. Still going forward, Liam Craig, just passing. Eric Payton still down receiving treatment. Now Moon. And the St Johnstone attack just stalls, but Craig will get the ball on the cross now. He's too high though for Colin Samuel. Eddie Malone tries to get the ball away, just fires it high into the sky, and Jim Laughlin has to challenge Chris Miller in the air in the penalty area, but gets it away. Now Shinnie. McMenamin just a slack touch there, and Stu McCaffrey steps forward and clears it away. Now Young. Great tracking back there by Colin Samuel, coming back and robbing the ball of Darren Young. Only a second start for Dundee, and maybe a loose touch there for the goal scorer last weekend. Just not quite up to match sharpness yet. Now Miller. Slack pass there from Chris Miller. Terrible pass. No excuse on that, just gifted it straight to Andrew Shinnie. Shinnie will go for a strike here, and a low stinging shot across the Dundee surface. Just goes wide of the post of Alan Main. And Eric Payton, he's back up on his feet now after receiving some extensive treatment from the physio and doctor. He's back on the pitch now and will resume his place on that right hand side of the Dundee back four. Laughlin just deflected off his head and towards Eric Payton, and McMenamin might have the pace to get in here behind Kevin Rutkiewicz, and he just slips there. Colin McMenamin tries to get the ball in beyond Kevin Rutkiewicz. Laughlin goes right through Colin Samuel. Well, that's one of these headers that Jim Laughlin goes in fully committed and goes through from behind on Colin Samuel, takes the header, but again, rather hefty challenge by Jim Laughlin, and it's from behind, so referee pulling him up there, not really anything more than just being too committed, Jim Laughlin. Maybe a bit dangerous as well, going through in the back of Colin Samuel's head, but he's up and about on his feet now. And Gary Irvin will try and aim this ball at him from the free kick. Rutkiewicz nods the balls down, and Payton just fires that back one up towards the halfway line, and Liam Craig tracking back has to stoop down low to get the header back to Alan Main. And Alan Main seems to have just recovered from that knock he took earlier. There's a bit of a question mark over him for a while during the first half. Ewan McLean doing some rigorous warm-ups behind Rab Douglas, and then in the end Ewan McLean going across to do some makeshift physio work on Alan Main. He's recovered fine though now, just feeling his leg there, and the former United man will be wanting to take his place among a St Johnstone promotion party. For that to happen though, they're going to have to hope for a Livingston goal against Partick Thistle. Not forthcoming yet. Still an hour to go in this football match though. Still plenty of time for anything to happen. A Dundee goal, a Livingston goal. An hour is a long time in football. Malone looking forward, and Irvin robs the ball off Colin McMenamin. Moon. Chip ball forward, and Colin Samuel might get his pace in this time. He does get in behind Kyle Benedictus. Now Miller. Now Irvin will try and set up another goal for St Johnstone. Hitting the byline, getting the ball across, but it deflects off Darren Young. And it's going to be a corner kick to St Johnstone. Gary Irvin again showing great penetration from those runs into the box. He sets up the first goal for St Johnstone. Stephen Milne with the simple task of tapping home to an empty net. This time, he's done enough for the corner kick. Liam Craig coming across to take it. Kevin Rutkiewicz up from the back. Martin Hardy there as well. Paul Sheeran coming short. Back with Craig, and a wild cross across the box. Rutkiewicz gets his head on it though. Laughlin just nods it back into the area. Now Sheeran with a strike, and it's just gone wide of that St Johnstone post. And the St Johnstone fans all rose in unison behind Rab Douglas's goal. And I wasn't sure for a second if Rab Douglas might have got a slight touch on the ball as a glance wide of the post. Goal kick's the one given. And St Johnstone make do with the one goal at the moment. Courier can't win the header against Martin Hardy. Poznak nods it back forward though. Now Milne nods it down for Chris Miller. And Hardy knocks it high up into the sky. Milne knows he's offside and doesn't challenge for it. Hardy goes forward again. And Lachlan will nod that back to Rab Douglas. Shinny just wins the ball off Liam Craig. Poznak header forward. Irvin will get it away and it might come down here for Chris Miller, but Malone will put Gary Irvin on the pressure in the corner. Giorgio Ephraim slides in and forces the ball out of play. Mill and Samuel just loses out the challenge with Benedictus, and now Ephraim picks up the loose ball. Miller tries to battle with Ephraim, and in the end Miller takes down Giorgio Ephraim, and the referees giving the throw in. Giorgio Ephraim not happy about it at all, and the on-loan Rangers player has to get over it. Shinny tries to challenge Martin Hardy, and a free kick given to Dundee against Martin Hardy. And in fact, the referee is going to book Martin Hardy, and not so much for that challenge. I think the referee, Mike McCurry, there's been a couple of hefty challenges there, and I think Mike McCurry laying down the law now, putting a stop to it. Tayside Derby, that tendency for things to maybe get a bit heated. The referee's put down the marker now. Shinny. And Kevin Moon comes racing out to that St Johnstone defence to push Shinny under pressure. Now Benedictus. Poznak. And now Ephraim popping up on the right, having a run at Liam Craig, and Liam Craig slides in and fires the ball away. And McMenamin. And the ball just getting a bit loose, and Payton will take the strike at goal, and Kevin Rutkiewicz sticking his head in the way of it, not taking the chance. Antoine Curiel lurking in the box. Always a chance that Curiel get some part of his anatomy on the ball and force it goalwards. Rutkiewicz wasn't taking that chance. Out for the corner kick. Darren Young to take it. Samuel loses it in the end. Benedictus almost getting his feet in it, but in the end just ends up in a tangle. And now Miller clears it forward, and Kevin Moon will try and run onto it, but Eddie Malone, brave challenge by Eddie Malone, sliding in there, forcing the ball out towards that Dundee dugout. Ray Fotheringham just rolling the ball towards Craig for the throw in. Now Craig and Darren Young coming across there to force the ball out. Now Samuel. Liam Craig tries to take the ball with him, but Antoine Courier wins the ball. It's gone out of play though. It's going to be a throw into St Johnstone. Sheeran tries to get the ball across, comes off the referee, and Moon takes the strike, and it comes off the side of his boots and will go out for the goal kick. Craig just not quite sure what he's wanting to do from the throne. Going forward in the end though. Just thought momentarily there about going back to Alan Main. Sheeran. Now it is back with Alan Main, but Colin McMenamin throwing himself at that clearance from Alan Main, just trying to block it, getting back towards that St Johnstone goal, putting the former United keeper under pressure. Now Miller. And Jim Laughlin again. Very solid at the back this season, Jim Laughlin. What he lacks in pace certainly makes up with his ability to read the game. And the ball forward by Hardy might find Stephen Milne, but cut across by Eddie Malone. Put the St Johnstone man under pressure, and the deflected shot. Rab Douglas tried to keep it in play, but diving to his right, could only touch it behind. And Gary Irvin will go across to the far side to try another one of his in-swinging corner kicks. Hardy making a late run at the back, and it's aimed at Martin. Hardy comes away, and now Paul Sheeran with the strike, blocked again. And now Posnack will complete the clearance, but St Johnstone giving this Dundee defence all sorts of problems, and at the moment St Johnstone look more likely to extend their lead. Milne nods it down, trying to get Paul Sheeran back in the game, and Posnack again gets it away. Young nods it on further. Now Hardy. Shinnie punts it down the park, and Rudkovic tries to get it away. Payton. Now Shinnie, chance to run forward, and Rudkovic gets a heel on it, blocking the ball on his way through to Colin McMenamin. Payton, it's a bit too long for Colin McMenamin, and Dundee not getting any joy off these long balls forward. Defenders like Kevin Rudkovic and Stuart McCaffrey will eat that up all day long. Hardy slices that one up in there, and Colin Samuel and Eric Payton battling for the ball underneath it. Now McMenamin sweeps the ball out to Georgia Ephraim. Plenty of space, and he'll fancy a run at Irvin here. Ephraim still going forward, and a free kick given to Dundee, and the referee will have a word here with Gary Irvin. Georgia Ephraim knocked the ball past him, and was certainly going to get in the end of it, and Gary Irvin have to take a yellow card. Just beaten for pace by the Cypriot international, a man on loan from Rangers. Nothing Gary Irvin could do about it. Couldn't get himself out of the way quickly enough. Dundee have the free kick. Eric Payton and Eddie Malone standing over it. Darren Young just having a quick word as well. Eric Payton, of course, with 2 free kicks already this season. Against Queen of the South and Dunfermline. Will he fancy a hat-trick of them here? They've all been from this kind of area of the pitch. Eddie Malone standing over it as well, though. Payton goes for goal, deflects off the wall, though. Keeps it in play, though. Payton still battling away down in the corner with Chris Miller. Twisting and turning, can't get away from him, though. Doesn't have any support as well, really backed into a corner there. Eric Payton, Chris Miller not giving him any room to move. Now Laughlin. It's a ball. Courier tries to nod it back in, but McMenamin was too close to Courier. If he was a bit further back, may have been able to force that ball back towards goal. But the Dundee strike partnership not linking up again, and the drought in front of goal continues. Courier 4 games without a goal. McMenamin 5 games without a goal. And if Dundee want to be pushing for a promotion party, like St Johnstone are planning today, the strikers have to find the net with greater prominency. just struggling this season to find the net on regular occasions. McMenamin, Shinnie coming forward and blocked down there by Liam Craig, and Paul Sheeran can clear the ball away. Young though with a slack pass, and in the end takes down Kevin Moon, and Darren Young will become the first Dundee player in the book here. And there's a poor touch by Darren Young in the first instance. Was always trying to recover after that, and in the end couldn't recover enough. Pulled down Kevin Moon. A yellow card. And St Johnstone Vans behind that goal behind Rab Douglas, in full voice at the moment, packing out that Bob Shankly stand. They're here for a promotion party. They're doing their bit. Will Livingston be doing theirs? Samuel tries to force it back across, and Jim Laughlin clears it away. Sheeran. Back in by Liam Craig, and Rukovic heads it towards goal and is wide of that post to the right of Rab Douglas. Kevin Rukovic could have put St Johnstone in the box seats going into half time. Clock edging ever closer to half time. He couldn't head it downwards towards goal. Rab Douglas was struggling though. He was beaten. Sadly, the post was as well. Shinnie gets the ball ahead of Martin Hardy, but Paul Sheeran gets it away, and referee's going to stop the play here. It's an injury in the centre of the park. Dundee physio being called into action again. And Dundee certainly won't want to lose Antoine Courier. Uh, 14 goals already for Antoine Courier. Not scored in 4, but he's so important, Antoine Courier, to Dundee's attacking threat in this match. And Guadalupe International, though, looks like he'll shake it off, and he's back on the pitch again, as Liam Craig just rolls the ball back to Rab Douglas in the Dundee goal. Douglas was taking a gamble with a low clearance. He gets away with it though, and a season that has promised so much for St Johnstone. They're planning a promotion party here today. They're doing their bit at half-time, 1-0 up, thanks to Stephen Milne's goal, and Rab Douglas as well being forced into 2 great stops as well. Half-time at Dens Park, thanks to former Dundee striker Stephen Milne. It's 1-0 to St Johnstone.
Park for the start of the second half. It's still Dundee 0, St Johnstone 1. An early goal coming from Stephen Milne, the ex-Dundee hitman. And he almost added another 2 later on in the first half. Dundee have had a few slight chances, they haven't taken them yet. But hopefully the second half the D's could get back into this game and stop St Johnstone winning here on their home turf. Second half just about to get underway. Mike McCurry just making sure everyone's ready. It's Dundee to get us on the way. No changes from both teams. And here we go for the second half. And then playing it back to Jim Laughlin, who's going back to Douglas. Looks for Shinnie. Here's Shinnie now. Lays it back for Payton. Courier gets ahead of his man, but tries to find Shinnie with a header, but gives it straight to Kevin Moon. And now he finds his big centre back. And it's gone out of place for a throw into Dundee. Eddie Malone. Curie wins the header. McMenamin trying to flick it off for Ephraim. But they win another throw in. There's Darren Young. Oh, he's almost giving it away, but Benedictus clears it well. Now Eric Payton finds Andrew Shinny. Curie does well, but we're taking out the process, and the throw is gone St Johnstone's way. It looked like a Dundee throw in to me. That'll be Leon Craig to take the throw in for St Johnstone. Tries to Steve Mellon, he wins the header. Now Malone. Out wide to Giorgio Sefrin. Young. Malone. McMenamin trying to flick it on. But loses out to Rutowicz. And it's going to be another throw into Dundee. Malone. Darren Young finds Curia. Ephraim. He's won another throw in. Malone finds Bosniak. Ephraim keeps it alive. Rutowicz. Sheeran. Back to McCaffrey. Looking for Colin Samuel. And Benedictus. Nice ball to find Andrew Shinny. And he's lofted one forward looking for Ephraim, but he can't get onto it. Irvin. Lachlan with the header. Malone does well. Payton finds Malone again. On to Ephraim. And he's lost out. That's the ball looking forward for Colin Samuel. Jim Lachlan puts out a play for a throw in. And St Johnstone having another chance to get themselves forward. Here's Kevin Moon. Oh, he's done well. Ball comes in. Look at Stephen Milne. And well, there was no free kick given to Dundee there. He's out to play on. St Johnstone almost got themselves a second. The St Johnstone fans are keeping the numbers today. I'm hoping that they can be champions today. Benedictus. Good challenge. Now Shinny. Finds Ephraim. Dan Young's made a run in the overlap. And it's unlucky, it's came off his arm, but still play on. And Dundee win a throw in. Now St Johnstone need Livingston to win at Partick for it to be crowned champions here today. But not if Dundee as well can almost come back with a goal and maybe go on to sneak this game. But they have a lot to do. It's Dundee. And now they have Shinny on the ball now. McMenamin. Good ball in for Curia. And it's unlucky. Saved by Alan Main. Well, it's a bit better from Dundee. And hopefully we see more of that from them. Malone. Young. Nice flick for Ephraim. Unlucky. Samuel wins the header. Ben Lachlan away. And now Malone comes away with a tower header. And Curia is on side here, he's getting the ball in. And it's back to Alan May, but it'll be a corner kick. Well, surely that's a corner kick to Dundee. Well, the ball was about 2 yards out of play. And I don't know why the linesman on this near side hasn't saw that. Dundee done out a corner. I think Johnstone have a throw in as well. That's going to be a Dundee throw-in. Again, it's been given to St Johnstone. And Lachlan has to deal with this. Well, St Johnstone again having another throw-in. Dundee a corner flag on that far side. It's going to be Gary Irwin again to take the throw-in. Finds Stephen Millen. His cross is blocked and away by Malone. Keir trying to flick one on, looks from McMenamin. McCaffrey away. Dundee throw in. Eddie Malone. Keir wins the flick. And Liam Craig's able to clear. Well, Benedictus has let Colin Samuel come past him here. And Jim Lachlan has to mock up again, but he's at the cost of a corner though. Centre back just couldn't get his leg, his foot right around it to maybe put out a play for a throw in. Didn't clear it as well as he'd hoped to, and it's gone behind for a St Johnstone corner. Leon Cruz come from this near side to the far side to take the corner. Wasted a little bit of time as well. Everyone back except from Giorgio Sefram. And it comes well held by Rab Douglas. It's been great for Dundee this season. But the clearance wasn't too great. But he's there a second time around. And he's thrown it out to Malone. Andrew Shinney. McMenamin. Darren Young. Shinney again. Nicely in the path of Curia. Yeah, he's not on the same wavelength as Eddie Malone. And they're giving away a needless throw in here. Malone wins ahead of Curia. Looking for McMenamin. Alamean's out to come and collect that one. Lachlan wins the header. As does McCaffrey under no real pressure. And Benedictus heads it back nicely to Rab Douglas. Then they have to start again. And Payton lets the bounce beat him there. Taking his eye off the ball for a slight second, and that's what happens. I think Johnstone again have another cheap free kick throw in. Now here's Sheeran. Well played, Jim Lachlan to get that away. Now Kevin Moon. He shot that off of Paul Sheeran. Lachlan again. To Malone. Well, it's done well, Malone. And it's found Colin Curia. He's kept it in. Trying to play it into the path of McMenamin. Darren Young, speculative chance, but going to keep the volley down. It's unlucky. Had a bit of dip on it as well. He scored last week at Ammonville in the 1-0 away win against Livingston. And he almost had 2 and 2 there. It was unlucky. But more chances like that for Dundee, and they could see themselves come back here. Benedictus loses out again to Colin Samuel. But it'll run through to the Dundee keeper. He's giving it to Malone. Jim Lachlan. Curia wins the header but can't direct it to Giorgio Sefram. Well, Young doesn't win that. I'm sure that's a free kick to Dundee, but again, referee Mike McCurry has nothing to say. Nice control from Rob Douglas here. Again, it's going to find Andrew Shinnie. McMenamin. And Sharon lets it run out of play for a throw into St Johnstone. Leon Craig to Sharon. He gets it back from Leon Craig. Pozniak finds Payton. He's looking for Curia, but can't find him. Leon Craig. McMenamin going on a bit late there on Leon Craig. And referee Mike McCurry just telling him to calm it down a little bit. But that's what Dundee had to do if they want to get back in this game. They have to tackle hard, play aggressive. It does work. But it's the Saints who are singing just now. And it's going to be a St Johnstone throw. Well, the referee's giving a free kick here. Don't know why, it didn't look anything in it. And Paul Sheeran's coming across to take this one. Well, Rukovic and McCaffrey are in there. And it comes. And it's going to be a goal kick to Dundee. Yeah, I thought the referee was going to point to the corner flag there, but doesn't this time round. Danny Young losing out. Joe Joseph, it's up and under, but McMenamin might win the header. He does. Curia. Good play to Pozniak. Yep. Bouncing off him. And look how lucky Kevin Moon gets there, but McMenamin's back again. Pozniak. And Leon Craig's able to clear. Well, it's better from Dundee. They're trying to get the ball down. They're trying to play good football. But St Johnstone just now are up for the challenge. They're stopping Dundee. But how long can St Johnstone keep this up? Because Dundee are starting to pile on the pressure. Curia. And again, it's another Dundee throw in. And the linesman on this near side has been poor. With a blatant corner kick that Dundee should have when Alan Main slipped and couldn't really keep it in play. And there's also been a few throw-ins that have gone the wrong way as well. That's poor from Malone. And everyone just a hopeless ball up top, which goes straight into the hands of Rob Douglas. Dan Young with a header. And as soon as McMenamin did that, I knew the referee was going to blow. Defenders get the benefit of the doubt all the time. And St Johnstone almost took the further lead here. They almost went 2-0 up. And again, it's the defensive mistakes that's letting St Johnstone in. And again, it was the XD, Stephen Milne, who almost got his second, and the Saints. But look for Curia. Dan Young did it with the header. Lachlan. And that's sort of play. Down the air, about to make a change, or someone getting warmed up just now. Bosniak. Sheeran. Leon Craig. Back to McCaffrey, who's going back to Alamein. Not the best of clearances here. Good play from Andrew Shinnie. Nice little 1-2, he's still going on Shinnie, unlucky. Benedict just does well. Kevin Moon. The team number 4 is coming together there. Miller finds Irvin. Peyton heads away. And it was Hardy who got to clean the pass wrong. He's now out to play for a throw into Dundee, who are about to make their first change. And it's Chris Bosniak who's making way. And it looks like O'Brien who's coming on. So Shinnie going into the centre midfield. And O'Brien will move on to the left. Ephraim's came on this right hand side. Curia. And well, it's been a red card here for Mikel Anton Curia. This is Johnstone player just went down in a hurdle there. And you know, take my eye off the game for a second to look where Ephraim was going to be positioned. And Curia has been dismissed. Dundee fans still singing his name. Well, I'm not sure what happened there, I never saw it. So Dundee are now down to 10 men. Mikel Anton Curia has been sent off for which looks like an elbow. Well, it's Martin Hardy who's down. And he's getting up to his feet just now. But I'm pretty sure that Mikel Anton Curia didn't mean to take a whack. I'm not sure he's that type of player. But now Dundee do have a mountain to climb here. Losing 1-0 at home to the leader St Johnstone. They are singing away now, they're in a party mood here. Dundee fans still singing Curia's name out loud for the St Johnstone fans to hear. But a 3 kick to St Johnstone. We're going to get back restarted here. Up from Irvin. Douglas comes to collect as well. So it's McMenamin up top on his Todd. And now Dundee had to really just go for it here. McMenamin wins the header. Shinnie finds George Joseph remove. Found Derek Payton here. Shinnie to Lachlan. I'm not sure if he's trying to find McMenamin there. It's going to be a Dundee throw in. Shinnie. Malone. Well, he almost gave it straight away to CML, but Benedict just did well to intercept it. And McMenamin giving everything he's got to try and close it down. I don't believe that. Not for a second is that a free kick. Payton's wanted to clear the ball. And because he's let his leg out, Stephen Milne took a tumble. I don't think that's a free kick. Mike McCurry has been dodgy today. He hasn't made the best decisions. And it was mostly for the game. Be looking at his linesmen to let them make the decision. Not good refereeing. And now George Joseph is going to get taken off here. He was fouled in the process, but again, Mike McCurry wait, play on. And I said Johnstone, I think, have found an easy way to probably come away with 3 points in this game. And from Irvine. Around the back was McCaffrey, but goal kick to Dundee. Stephen Milne has gone off. And Derek Coles is coming on to replace him. It's a goal kick to Dundee. Sherry losing out. Effort. Darren Young looking, just trying to hit one forward, looking further on at McMenamin. But Benedictus, it's an up and under. And it's going on out to play for a goal kick to Dundee. Well, what does Jockey Scott do? Does he maybe bring on another striker and go for it? I won't really know, but Brian Beasley is warming up. Here's Malone. Played by Irvine. Finds Derek Combs. He's chested onto Colin Samuel. He's going to take on Jim Laughlin. And he skipped past him. That's cut back from Miller. Douglas saves well. Thrown out to Malone again. Oh, George Zephyr has made a run in the centre. He's picked it up here. He's giving Malone it back. O'Brien gets it back from George Zephyr. Finds Andrew Shinney. He's going to foul to Eric Payton. McMenamin! Well, that's unlucky from Dundee. Great play from Dundee there. Absolutely superb. Probably the best move of the entire match from both teams as well. And yet they're still playing with only 10 men. Well, it's great to see Dundee trying to get themselves back in this game. Brian Beasley's warming up, so it's only maybe a matter of time before he comes on. And tries to bring this game back to life for Dundee. Up from Alamein. Laughlin loses out. And Malone gets it away. Colin Samuel. And he wins it. Another throw in for St Johnstone. They're just over 15 minutes away from taking the 3 points. Not sure what the score is just now. That Partick Thistle. They've got Livingston. And if Livingston pull off a victory there, and this score stays the same, they'll be promoted up into the SPL. Benedictus wins well. And Dundee win a throw in here. Can Dundee cause an upset here? Can Can they at least get a draw? They'll have to put in some work rate to make that happen, because just now St Johnstone have the advantage with this in North Curia. Liam Craig away, looking for Holmes. Comes down. And Malone does well. And Shinny's lost out. And O'Brien. It's Miller. Clutch one over. And Payton was there to defend well. And he comes away with it. Now Shinny again. Back to Payton. Rudy Wicks heads it on for Irvine. And that's going to be a Dundee throw in. Well, Dundee applied pressure to St Johnstone. They don't like it. And they've made a few errors. This one up for O'Brien. He'll keep it in. And he's won a throw in. I was looking for Ephraim, but too much on it. Malone loses control. Colin Samuel, well, he couldn't keep it in. Throw into Dundee. And St Johnstone are going to make another change here. And it's Martin Hardy who's coming off. And Jody Morris will come on to sit in the centre of the field. Darren Young, good ball out to Eric Payton. And Payton's giving it away. And Colin Samuel's on the chase here. Up against Jim Loughlin. Gary Irvine. Jody Morris. Finds Colin Samuel. Crosses the pure one. Well, St Johnstone fans are cheering. I'm not sure what's happening. Not sure if it's been a goal at Partick Thistle or not, but I don't think there has been a goal at Partick. Away by Jim Loughlin. Is it? It's still 0-0 with Partick Thistle. So not sure why the Saints are cheering just yet. But there's under 50 minutes left in both games. Still Dundee 0, St Johnstone 1 here at Des Park. Andrew Shinny can't keep it in. Thrown to St Johnstone. Holmes looking for Colin Samuel. And that'll be a goal kick to Dundee, who want to try and get things moving quickly. Well, they were a bit here 2 weeks ago at home, losing to Airdrie. And I'm pretty sure they don't want to lose here again. And then can't find the flick. And it's going to be a free kick to Dundee. Jody Morris head in the back of Danny Young. Shinny. Payton. Benedictus. Looks for O'Brien. And it's run through to Alan Main. Sheeran finds Holmes. And again, Jody Morris fouling. Well, that's two in quick succession. And is Mike McKinney going to bring a card out here for Julie Morris? I don't think he will, because he's been giving everything to St Johnstone today. And let's let him off with it. Benedictus. Back to Jim Laughlin. Oh, does it find Ephraim? Now here's Holmes. Julie Morris. Well, Ephraim trying to close down Rutwicks. And again the ball falls to Jim Laughlin. At the Dundee back four. O'Brien. Oh sure, it's a push in the back on McMenamin, but again referee Mike McCurry just waves away any claim that Dundee make. It's going to be Malone to take the throw in. Shinnie. Well, no free kick given there. It looked like a free kick. And now here's Paul Sheeran. And Payton's across. And he's won the free kick. And it's Julie Morris again. Well, I'm not sure when the referee's going to book him. I think Johnstone are going to make their last change. Dundee are also going to make a change. And it's wee but deadly Brian Deasley who's going to come on replacing Georgios Ephraim, who hasn't really worked his magic today. And well, Beasley's going to go straight up front with McMenamin. So now Jockey Scott, he wants to go back. Judy Morris. And Payton will let it go out to play for a Dundee throw in.
Coming off was the Johnson, number 17, Graham Barnes, replacing number 10, Colin Samuel.
And Colin Samuels went off for a Graham Barrett. Now here's Darren Young. Finds Payton. Another throw into Dundee. Payton felt that one a wee bit. He was looking for movement. And it's a corner kick to Dundee. Good play from Brian Beasley, who's just on. He's a little menace. Oh, defenders here coming up against him. He may not have the height, but he'll run his socks off all day. Shinnie. Malone back to O'Brien. Shinnie again. Has a header in from Benedictus. And Liam Craig gets it away. Payton. And no one making a move there. No one attacking it. It's a lot for St Johnstone. It looked promising for a second there for Dundee. Malone. O'Brien. Gone back to Douglas. And puts out a play for a St Johnstone throw in. I'm going to take the throw in. Malone. Young. Benedict is with a header. I'm sure it's a free kick and it's been given. Well, that's the booking. Gone with his elbow. And we think that's why Michelangelo Curia was sent off. So why hasn't Barrett, who's just on the field? Up from Rab. Headed away by McCaffrey. Danny Young. Clips one over from McMenamin. Away by Sheeran. Headed on by Holmes. And Lachlan goes back to his keeper. Up from Rad Douglas again. McMenamin wins the header this time. And Liam Craig gets there before Deasley does. Danny Young. Douglas again, lost it, went forward. Throw into Dundee. Well, less than 5 minutes left. Darren Young. Headed away by Liam Craig. Well, Sheeran gets lucky there. Now Graham Barrett. We find Irvin. Goes back to his captain. Now here's Liam Craig. Looking for Sheeran to run. And Benedict just does well. Goal kick to Dundee. Now can Dundee find a goal from somewhere? Anywhere. There is one. Derek Combs. He's found Sheeran. They switched it to his right back, Irvin. Now Muller has kept it in, says the linesman. Away by Benedictus, only as far as Judy Morris. Close done well by Shinnie. Thrown to St Johnstone. Well, they want to finish this game with a flourish, but Dundee aren't going to let them yet. They still want to peel one back. They've worked hard the second half. They have got someone back if he didn't lose Curia. Well, here's Liam Craig. Well, it's came off Eric Payton's arm, but looked like he's up around near his shoulder, but the referee was about to give a free kick. Now here's Liam Craig. And it'll be a throw in to St Johnstone, right down beside the corner flag on this near side. They're just going to try and keep it in the corner. And it's a goal kick to Dundee. Lachlan up. Beasley's going to give chase. McMenamin. Oh, no free kick given. And Miller still going for St Johnstone. And Lachlan's across well. He's had a good game at the back, Jim Lachlan. It's just unfortunate that Dundee had let in a goal from Savo, Stephen Mill. But Dundee have a throw in now. Last few minutes here. One by Darren Young, now thrown to Dundee. It's now or never for Dundee to try and pull someone back here. Well, it's a free kick to Dundee, but there was an elbow thrown out by Miller and the referee didn't even see it. Well, surely it's got to be a red card. I think McCurry is quick over because he's going to book a Dundee player. And he has. Poor refereeing. Should be a straight card for Barrett. It's twice he's went in with his elbow. Last chance for Dundee. It's got to come flying in the box. Amalo's going to have to hit this one straight in. The Miniman. Eric Payton. Lost one over. And there's in trouble along the header from Darren Young. I think that's time up here at Dennis Park. Referee just looking at his watch. Seconds remaining. Have St Johnstone clinched the First Division title. And in the Tayside derby, Shinny came for Brian Beasley. Falls to Sheeran though, Leo Craig. Just a bit up anywhere from Leo Craig. Well, Lockley's missed it. But Rod Douglas catches well. Thrown out to Benedictus. This one's going to have to go long. O'Brien finds McMenamin. Are Dundee going to get a last gasp equaliser here? So Johnson have want to throw in, so take it, that's about time up. Up from Douglas. I know Benedictus. Thrown to Dundee, but Mick McCurry's just testing the Dundee players' patience here. Thrown to St Johnstone. Liam Craig to take it, he's taking a shot, finds Kevin Moon. And Liam Craig just going to take this one straight to corner. That's a Dundee throw in. Well, that came up for Liam Craig. And the linesman on the near side is just miles away. It's a St Johnstone throw that time. Leo Craig kicking the ball in the stand. Should be big for that. But Mick McCurry not doing anything about it yet again. Well, I'm not sure if it's St Johnstone fan or not, but the way he's refereed the game today, you would think so. Malone. Beasley. Is it? Partick Thistle have a penalty here. Well, in Partick against Livingston. And in Partick Thistle score. I don't think you'll see many celebrations from St Johnstone. Brian Beasley. And look at that. That's unbelievable from the linesman. He's onside, O'Brien. I'm just waiting to see if Partick have scored. But free kick, St Johnstone. Up from Malone. Well, Partick Thistle have scored. And St Johnstone are all quiet now. That's the biggest cheer from Dundee today, and there goes the final whistle. Well, St Johnstone fans are cheering, but they'll have to hold off another week because Partick Thistle have scored a late winner. Full time here at Dens Park is Dundee 0, St Johnstone 1. Goal coming from Stephen Mill.